Have you ever felt like you're the one doing all the work in your relationship? It's this weird trap that honestly so many of us fall into, and a lot of the time we don't even see it happening. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this bare minimum dynamic and figure out why it's so dang hard to get out of. So let's just start right here with a big question. Why do we celebrate the bare minimum? Seriously, think about it. Your friend tells you, "Oh my God, he finally texted back," and we all cheer. But wait a minute. Should getting a text back really be a major victory? Let's get into why this happens. So, what is a bare minimum partner, really? They're not always a bad person. They've just gotten really, really good at doing just enough to keep you from leaving. So you never feel truly happy or secure, but you're also never quite at the point of walking away. It's this constant limbo, and man, is it exhausting. Okay, so the engine driving this whole thing has a name: intermittent reinforcement. This is a super powerful psychological hook. It's the exact same principle that gets people addicted to slot machines or endlessly scrolling through social media. You get a little reward, a like, a small payout, at random times, and that unpredictability keeps you coming back for more. In a relationship, it's that random text, that rare compliment, those little breadcrumbs of affection that keep you hoping the next one is right around the corner. And get this isn't just you being dramatic or overthinking. There is a real chemical reaction happening in your brain. Let's actually look at how a relationship like this can create a literal addiction. It's kind of wild and a little scary how much your brain, on the bare minimum, looks like a brain on the slot machine.
I mean, just look at this contrast. It's a night and day, right? A secure relationship feels predictable, safe, and calming. But the bare minimum partner, they put you on an emotional roller coaster. You're living in this state of anxiety, and then bam, they finally do something nice, and you get this huge rush of relief. That's a dopamine spike, and your brain can easily mistake that intense feeling for deep, passionate love.
And that brings us to what might be the most crucial point of this whole explainer. You aren't actually addicted to the person. You are addicted to the relief they provide. It's that feeling of, phew, okay, we're good for now, after days of anxiety. That deep breath you take when they finally give you a crumb of attention. That feeling of relief, that is the drug. All right, so we've been looking at your side of this whole thing. Now let's flip the script for a second. Why does someone act this way? What's going on with them? Because it's usually a lot more complicated than them just being lazy or mean. So there are a couple of common drivers for this. One is having an avoidant attachment style. For someone with this, real intimacy can feel, well, threatening, so they subconsciously keep you at arm's length. The other big one is something called low relationship efficacy. That's just a fancy way of saying they've learned from past partners, maybe even from childhood, that a tiny bit of effort is all it takes to keep someone around. So it is so easy to just slap the label lazy on them, but it's often more strategic than that. A lot of the time, this behavior is a subconscious strategy to keep the connection low stakes. It keeps things at a distance that feels manageable and not so scary to them. Okay, now for the tough part. It's time to gently turn the mirror around, because this can be tough to hear, but in almost every single one of these bare minimum dynamics, there's an over-functioning partner on the other side who, usually with the absolute best intentions, is helping keep the whole cycle going. Just think about this for a second. If you're doing 90% of the emotional labor, you plan all the dates, you start all the hard talks, you apologize first just to keep the peace, you are, without meaning to, teaching them that their 10% is totally fine. You're sending a loud and clear signal that says, "Don't worry, I've got this. You don't need to step up." And the result of that? Well, you're not really a partner anymore, are you? You've become the safety net. You're the one catching everything, managing all the emotions, and holding it all together, while they get to walk on the tightrope without any real fear of falling. But here is the good news. I promise you are not powerless here. You can absolutely break this cycle. And it doesn't start with trying to change them. It starts with changing what you do. So let's walk through 3 real, practical steps you can take to get your power back. First, just pull back. Stop filling every single gap. Let the awkward silence just sit there for a minute and see what happens. Do they step in? Second, learn to state your needs clearly without blaming. So instead of "you never listen to me," try "I need to feel heard when I talk about this." And finally, this one is so important. Watch what they do, not what they say. Promises are easy. Consistent action is everything. When you take these steps, what you're really doing is testing the foundation of the relationship. And it really is like the quote says, if the relationship falls apart the moment you stop carrying it, it wasn't a partnership, it was a solo mission. That right there, that's the moment of truth.
So when it all comes down to it, you have to get really honest with yourself. Are you in love with the person who is standing in front of you right now, today, or are you in love with the idea of who they could be one day? It's time to stop looking at their potential and start looking at their patterns. So I'm just going to leave you with that one question to really think about. And it's not an easy one, I know. But answering it honestly might just be the first step to getting your freedom back. Are you in love with the person they are, or the person you just hope they'll become?